Welcome in, guys. Welcome into the Brooks Bench. Shiggy and Meg here. Meg, mic check.
What's up, y'all?
What are we in? Week 8?
7?
No, week 8. Week 8
It's all flying by.
is upon us. It's a packed week. I know we missed out on Monday's waiver wire pickups, but we will be going over Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's a long, long week. I will say, though, there are some good options out there for you guys this week that we're going to be talking about. We'll also be talking about transactions, injuries, all the stuff you guys already know. And then we'll get into our Q&A after our waiver wire rankings at the end. Just a reminder, trade deadline is the 18th. I think everyone got an alert, actually, that it's coming up. So trade deadline, get your trades in on the 18th. I know I put out some trades and got rejected. Excuse me, guys. Like, give me some rebuttals. What do you want? Or just let me know that player is untouchable. Meg, I mean, just off the top of your head, is there any player that you're trying to target to trade for to get on your team before playoffs?
Honestly, I think I have one league where I'm not doing well in. I think it's the Champs League, actually. I'm struggling, and I don't know if anything can make it better.
Oh, my God. But if there's one player that you're, like, looking to add to your team that you think will help you for playoffs, who do you think it is? That's not probably, like, too expensive. Not like a Nafisa Collier. Like, you know, like a good, solid player.
A good, solid player? They're expensive. Let's see.
Well, just name some.
NECA?
That's a good one. I don't think she'd be too expensive.
I would even say, like, a Azare's been pretty consistent.
Oh, I think she's expensive.
But,
That'd be a high one. For me, it's Bree Jones. I've been trying to get Bree Jones on my team.
I feel like that one's expensive, too.
No one wants to negotiate.
Super consistent.
No one wants to negotiate for Bree Jones. If you guys are here and you guys are playing in any of my leagues, what do you want for Bree Jones? I'm trying to... I need another big. I'll take NECA too. Just tell me what you want. My bigs are weak, and I want to negotiate with someone.
Natasha Howard spiking at the right time.
I think it's going to die down. I don't really want to go on that route. But Bree Jones has been pretty consistent the entire season, quietly doing well, and got snubbed from the All-Stars. So, if you guys are in my league, let me know what you guys want for Bree Jones. So like I said, trade deadline, July 18th. Get your trades in. It's going to come fast, and then we're going to start playoffs. I think we only have like 4 more weeks until playoff starts. I also did put a poll out there if you're in any of our leagues. There was an error in the playoff tiebreaker settings. There's a poll going in the Discord and in your individual fantasy leagues. What had happened was, I guess it defaulted to tiebreaker was head-to-head matchups, but we always play points for. If you have more points for, that's your tiebreaker. Right now, the majority is wanting us to switch the tiebreaker to points for. I'm going to give it the rest of the 24 hours. It's a 24-hour poll, so make sure to get your vote in. But like I said, majority right now leading is points for that will be changing that tiebreaker to. And I swear I went through and made sure it was for points for, so I'm not too sure what happened on that. Okay, enough of that. Let's get into it. Transactions. If you guys haven't already watched our recap, we kind of went over most of these transactions. Obviously, Phoebus came back, McCown came back, Louisa came back, Alman came back, and Leila Lacan came back. Julie Van Loo went to LA. Kyla Charles was waived by Dallas. Leah Tu King was signed by Dallas. And then Sims and Petty were waived by LA. So just those movements, get your guys familiar with. Van Loo hasn't been having a lot of playing time with LA, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. But we all know Louisa, Alaman have been really good. Phoebus had a good game the other game. Even Tierra McCowan actually did pretty well for Dallas. I will say Leila Lacan got some good minutes. I want to say at least 20 plus.
Yeah.
Not a great fantasy output, but the minutes are there. So, another person to put on your radar, especially when the waiver is thin. We have a lot of injury updates from yesterday, actually. So Ryan Howard obviously is playing today. Jaylen Brown still day-to-day. Marina Mabry out. Dejanay out. Enrique is going to be out for today. Carla Late was actually available to play today. Caitlin Clark was seen practicing, so she's probably going to be back soon. We already talked about Carly Samuelson's going to be out rest of the season. Natasha Cloud, I don't think was on the injury report. I know she popped up.
Haven't heard anything.
Okay, so maybe no update. I know she popped up on the injury report at the end of the game yesterday. Isabel Harrison is going to be questionable. John Quayle, we talked about it, not expected to return until after All-Star break. Satu, day-to-day with an ankle. She's going to be out for tonight. Kalia Copper, hamstring. Just an update we got today, actually a couple minutes ago. She's going to be day-to-day with that hamstring. And then Dewana Bonner, this just dropped like 5 minutes ago. She's going to be signing with Phoenix. I think this is going to mess up our Phoenix waiver wires. Just everyone be cautionary. Until we see how they work her into this rotation, I think a lot of the good waiver wire pickups that we're seeing, I think might be a little bit hurt. I mean, what do you think about the Dewana Bonner signing?
I think she'll be a good addition.
No, I'm not saying. I'm talking about fantasy. Is she gonna ruin some of our people like Catherine Westbelt, Sammy Whitcomb, like those ancillary players for us that we all bet on?
Sammy, no. West, maybe.
I can see that happening. Yes.
No, yeah, she's definitely going to interrupt some of that. So go get her now.
I know people already picked her up after I put that news in our Discord. At least one person had already picked her up. So I haven't done that yet. Sutton, not on injury report. She should be playing. And then Megan Gustafson, questionable. She might be making her debut coming up here soon. Fantasy impact could be if they're going away from Kia Stokes. I can see Megan Gustafson getting some good minutes. They need the depth. They're struggling, and it could be a possibility. But we don't even know if she's going to play yet. So just keep that in the back of your guys' head. Game count for this week. Everyone has 3 games except the Sparks, Liberty, and Phoenix. So keep that in mind when if you're trying to plan ahead. I feel like really when we're talking about waiver wire, me and Meg's strategy is mainly day-to-day playing. It is kind of difficult planning ahead, especially if your matchup's close. We like to play day by day. I think that's just our strategy. It works for us. And I feel like that's how our rankings evolve. So, just if you guys didn't know that. So, we'll start it off Tuesday. And let us know. I forgot to mention it last week. We were trying the new ranking system, ranking it each day. Let us know if that's something you guys like. Because I think we're still trying to figure out what's the best way to rank our waiver wire pickups, but without being repetitive. So, when we do it every day, it does become a little bit repetitive. But I know some people really like seeing the outlook of the day and kind of like, okay, like if this is what I'm presented with, this is who I'd want to get. So, I get both sides. Just let us know, comment, feedback for rankings. So, on Tuesday, July 8th, we have Chicago versus Washington. The Aces versus Liberty. I really went back, and Meg, you're going to have to be the tiebreaker between making these top 4 the top 4. So Kennedy Burke, Rachel Banham, Elizabeth Williams, Shook Sutton. I went back and forth of putting Rachel Banham 1, Elizabeth Williams maybe higher than Kennedy Burke, Sug Sutton even higher, and it's just like I couldn't decide. This is kind of what I landed with. I know Kennedy Burke had that down game, but she's still a starter. She's still pretty consistent. But I know Rachel Banham, Elizabeth, and Sug have all been doing very well. So, I mean, what are your kind of outlook on those 4?
The only one I'm considering moving, I don't know. I'm not sure about the Sug one and if she should be higher. She is coming back from injury. Mm-hmm. So I kind of think I would leave it how you have it. Yeah, I probably would leave it.
You would leave it like this?
Yeah.
I know Elizabeth is going to probably drop in our rankings soon because Cardoso is going to come back, but I think she's still going to be a little bit efficient off the bench. Maybe not the production that she's going to, have while Cardoso is out. So take advantage of it now. And then Sugg is coming off the injury. I think she's going to be fine. She should, resume her role. But I wanted Jade Melbourne kind of lingering on this list because if they're, cautious with her and maybe want to have a minute restriction with Sugg, Jade Melbourne is obviously the backup and will step in for that. This was a slim week. I do want to highlight Dana Evans as well. She had that really outlier performance of 28 fantasy points last game, but you could see her potential of getting that. So if you really want to risk it for the biscuit and put someone in and your waiver wire is thin, I think you have to consider her now. What are you thinking, Meg?
Yeah, Dana's good. They don't have a bench, so
yeah.
But yeah, she's not been consistent. For me, I would stick with the first 5 really for Tuesday. If you're able to pick up any of those first 5, I think that'll be good. Yeah, Las Vegas is playing New York. I don't know. Sadly, has not been doing that well.
She didn't do too bad last game.
But yeah.
I mean, she's still going to get minutes. As long as John Quill's out, she's still going to get minutes. So I think she's still a viable play. Yeah, she had a dud, 2 games ago?
Yeah, I think Phoebe still coming back, I think, will take a little bit away from her having to do so much offensively.
Mm-hmm.
But she's still a big present in the paint, getting rebounds, putbacks, stuff like that.
Yeah, and I really want to caution, Chicago's kind of confusing. I know Onyenwere has been in the starting lineup. 21 fantasy points was good, but then she had the 7, so it's kind of you just got to take your Chicago players with a grain of salt. I know Kia Nurse was on a little tear, and then when I needed her the most, she just died. So, it is what it is with Chicago. We all knew that it was going to be rough sledding with them for sure. And anything else you want to comment on Tuesday? For Wednesday, we have way more games. Seattle versus Connecticut, Golden State versus Indiana, Minnesota versus Phoenix, Dallas versus Chicago. I really think you ride with Dallas's young guns. Isaiah James is my number 1 pickup. I'm sure she's already, picked up in most leagues. But, if you guys are new here, we do go over players that are available in less than 50% of leagues. Is that right? Or more than 50% leagues? They're rostered less than 50%. There we go. So she's still rostered in less than 50% of leagues. So she's obviously my number 1 pickup. JJ Quinterly, I think, is a good add until Enrique comes back. Then she's going to take a slide. But I would capitalize on it right now. They're both going to be really good pickups. And then the Dallas Bigs. I know Louisa got more of the playing time, but Lily Rue was more efficient with her playing time last game. I still think they're both going to be really involved. I don't think either one is a bad pickup if you go either way. Meg, are you leaning towards either Louisa or Lily Rue, or kind of the same?
I think it's kind of the same. Lily Rue's been playing well, so I feel like they can't go away from her.
Yeah.
But you saw that they wanted to get Louisa back in the rotation fast, so... Yeah. I think that's a good sign for her. That shows how much they trust and like her.
Yeah.
So I still expect her to be in double figures.
Yeah, and I gave a little bit of a bump to all Phoenix players with Kalia Copper and Satu out. So Monique Akomakani got a big bump. I think she's going to get a lot of playing time. Catherine Westbelt's up there as well. And then obviously Sammy Whitcomb I've been just bragging about. So she's in my top 3. Anything you disagree with or want to see someone higher, lower?
Nope. I would keep an eye on Ari. With the rumors of Caitlin Clark being back, just keep an eye on that, because if she's back, that will subtract from Ari a little bit. So just be mindful of that. Keep an eye on her status.
I will say, though, there was a practice video that came out where Ari was actually running the point guard position, and Caitlin was coming off the wing, so
which would not be a bad move, honestly.
It's not,
because they say how Caitlin's struggling with those turnovers. So move her, let her be a guard, let her be the wing guard.
Yeah.
So,
and I think Ari is really just hurting Lexi Hull. Lexi Hull hasn't been performing to what we all had early in the season. So I mean, I had to drop her a lot, and I feel like if you want to drop her for someone else, you guys can. I think she could be in that drop category, not a must hold. I mean, what are you thinking about the Lexi Hole situation?
I don't know. I don't think I'm at the point yet to drop her.
Okay.
I know I have her on a couple teams, but yeah, I don't think I'm at that point yet where I'm gonna drop her.
Okay. Over to Thursday, we only have Minnesota versus LA, Las Vegas versus Washington. Another one I debated between Sugg and Julie Alleman as the number 1 pickup. Anyone else vying for that number 1? Would you keep it this way? How are you looking at it?
I think I gotta go with Julie.
Okay,
I think she's bringing that championship juice back with her. She's been a play for me. She's just doing things, and LA needs that push offensively. So I would say she's gonna be my number 1 for Thursday. Yeah.
I did have her at number 1, and then I switched her when Sugg came off the injury report, and I think you don't go wrong either way. I also moved up Aaliyah Nye. She's getting 20 plus minutes a game right now, guys. I know she's not really producing fantasy wise, but I love the production. I mean, I love the minutes she's getting. She's getting more minutes than everyone below her. Natisha Hydeman's minutes dropped, and her fantasy production. You guys know Aaliyah Edwards, not getting a lot of minutes. But I'll risk it. Like, if we had to risk it on all these, from 6 down, I would probably risk it on Aaliyah Nye because she's getting 20 minutes a game.
Yeah, and she can easily get hot.
Exactly, from 3. So, you guys know those count more for fantasy points. I know Minnesota, their bigs, their rotation's a little confusing. I know Jessica Shepard popped off one day. Then, I'm going to butcher her name. Kluna Dekova. I think that's how you said it. She popped off with limited minutes as well. So just another kind of coin flip play with Minnesota. And then Bridget Carlton, I mean, she's just a steady 15er. Like, there's not much more to say there. This is a very slim day. So make sure you're on top of your wire on that one. Any other comments?
No. I didn't realize how tall Maria is, though.
I know. She is.
Like, she's lanky.
She is. Friday, only 2 games. Atlanta, Indiana versus Connecticut and Seattle. I think Anissa Morrow can still be the number 1 pickup. She's hovering that 50% rostered position, though. She's at like 47. Connecticut, I mean, they brought Tina off the bench. I mean, Tina had a really good game. But Anissa was still pretty consistent, 21 fantasy points. So you can't go wrong there. Obviously, Naz Hillman has to be up there. She's just consistent off the bench. And then we get into the mix of Connecticut players. I think our rankings for Connecticut players have always stayed the same. Sanaya, then JC, then Bria, and then Olivia Nelson-Ododa smack in the middle. And I think that's how you trust them. I mean, what are you thinking of? Anything changing?
I'd just say keep an eye on Lacan.
Yeah.
I think that she's going to just take some time to learn the system.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if give her probably about 2 more games and she starts to move up in playtime and in fantasy contributions.
Yeah. The 20-plus minutes right off the bat, I mean, first game back was pretty okay, they're going to have her involved. And then I wanted to, shove Dominique Malonga in here just in case Noelle Quinn decides to change her mind and lets her play. Because she was just so efficient with her, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Come on, Noelle. Let her play. She could really give us some good fantasy value off the waiver wire if that happens. But, yeah, I mean, this is a short, slim game. But we see a lot of these Connecticut guards out there, as a last-minute pickup. And I know Sophie Cunningham's also been struggling, but she's always out there as well. Saturday, 2 games, Minnesota, Chicago, Golden State versus Las Vegas. I had Banham at 1 and then Elizabeth Williams at 2. And then Golden State, I think, is very confusing. They get their butts kicked by Minnesota. She's trying to rotate all the people coming back from overseas, and it's not working. Then this game against Atlanta, obviously it's going on right now. She goes back to her rotation that was working before. They didn't have anyone. Everyone was overseas. And I feel like if she continues with that, we can trust the Monique Billings, Temmie, even Talbot a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Zandalicini and Janelle Salon, I think we're going away from them right now. I think she's going to ride what, was hot before the overseas players came back. And Meg, I'm curious to see what you're thinking about, all these new players back with the Valkyrie.
I think Talbot's going to hurt the most.
Okay.
I think if she's not, like, when she gets her chance right in the beginning, if she's not hitting, then she'll get pulled. Is Cecilia hurt? I'm not sure what's going on with her. I know she played in the last game, didn't really do a lot fantasy-wise.
She hasn't gotten in today.
And then she hasn't played today. But I would keep an eye on that. She's just too good of a shooter to keep on the bench for long. So I'll see. I think she'll be worked back into the rotation. And that could be Saturday because they're going to be playing the Aces. They have some height on them. But, yeah.
I really think, though, I think Nakase is going to ride with her people that she rode with before these overseas players came. They have a lot of experience together now. Yeah. Caitlin Chen's getting a lot of minutes. She's doing really well right now. I know Temmie's not doing the best, but Monique Billings is popping off right now. So you're gonna see that between Monique and Temmie. I feel like, switching on who's gonna have a better day.
Yeah.
But I would stick with the original waiver wire pickups that we're always talking about. Monique Billings. Who is it? I think you could. Talbot is gonna get some minutes.
Yeah.
And who else? Temmie, and then Temmie obviously. I know Temmie's gonna hit that 50% rostered soon, anyways. But I mean, outside of that, it's the same players we talked about. But I would still take like a Monique Billings over most of them. Mm-hmm. Would you agree?
Yeah, Monique is hot right now.
Yeah, she's doing good. I dropped her. Okay. All right, over to the last day, Sunday. We have 4 games: Dallas versus Indiana, Atlanta versus New York, Connecticut versus LA, Washington versus Seattle. Again, this could change. This ranking could change based off if Enrique comes back. Because I still say you ride Zaya and JJ Quinterly. Yeah. They're gonna capitalize with Enrique out, and then who else was on here?
I would still ride Julie Almond.
Oh, is she on here? Did I leave her out? Sorry.
No, she is.
Oh.
She's number 10.
Oh, right here, 10, yeah.
Yeah, I would just ride her until she cools off because I think for LA, they need a scorer like that. So they're going to be relying on her still to give us fantasy points.
Mm-hmm. I do want to shout out Alicia Clark. She's been sneakily having some good fantasy production. 17 fantasy points, 15 fantasy points last 2 games. She helped me out I think it was yesterday, Sunday, right? Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to put her on here as well. There's a lot of good options on Sunday. So she cracks the top 20, but there's some other players I think I'd rather have over her. Mm-hmm. Other than that, I mean, we talked about each of these players already in the previous days. But, okay, personally, I prefer overall rankings for the week. Okay, I agree. It's just, we're going to have to find a better system, especially with these long weeks. It's like ranking, that'd be like 50 players. That's a lot. So it's kind of like maybe we rank the top 25 for each week, and then we really break down, like, those top 25 and why. It's too hard to break down every single waiver wire pickup. And while we're breaking down those top 25, then you guys can pop in questions of like, oh, well, what about this player? I'm in a deeper league. Like, I only have Kia Stokes and, like, Alicia Clark. Like, who would you go with? And I think maybe that'll be a more productive ranking, top 25 of the week. And then if you guys if you're in deeper leagues, you can drop your questions and we'll answer who maybe deeper in the waiver wire we'll go with. I mean, what do you think? Like, you think that's easier? Yeah. Or a top 20, top 25?
We're just trying to see what works best for the followers.
Yeah.
We're only here to try to give you some advice, give you our opinion to see if that's helpful. Mm-hmm. So we're just curious on what works best for you guys. So the more feedback, the better. But yeah.
Yeah, so let us know. I know I think it was Josh gave us this idea of ranking it day by day, and I do like it, especially when it's a shorter week and maybe not all teams are playing, but maybe on these longer weeks we do like a top 25 ranking. It might be a little bit easier, especially when we're kind of repeating players, and then those top 25 players are determined based on, matchup and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I will say, because I'm looking at my, like, even my own lineup and some teams in the league. I will say, with how many games do they have this week? Indiana has,
I think
3 games.
Yeah.
If you need to, I would actually change my mind, consider dropping Lexi Hall.
Yeah.
It's been too tight. The matchups have been way too tight to really hold on. Mm-hmm. And I need to tell myself that. Yeah. So yeah, I would take that statement back about holding her.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talented players here on this waiver wire, especially with a lot of these players returned.
Yeah.
So
I've been debating about dropping her as well, and I just convinced myself on this live that it's okay to drop her if I need someone else. But okay, let's go into the questions. If you are new here, we do ask Discord members to drop their questions, and then if you have any fantasy questions, drop them in the chat and we'll answer them live. So the first question was, are the reports of Jonquel returning soon after All-Star true? Very concerned fantasy manager here. What's your temperature on Jonquel, Megan?
I don't know. I don't believe it. I feel like she got hurt, came back, and got hurt so fast again that they're going to be hesitant. And honestly, if they don't need her to clinch playoffs, I would take my time. Yeah. Especially if there's a chance for her to come back even stronger in playoffs. Yeah. I wouldn't rush it after All-Star, to be honest with you. Yeah. But I don't know. The updates are very slim.
It's like very vague. It's like sometime after All-Star break. It's not like after All-Star break, that first game back, that's when she will be, it's more like she's not going to return before All-Star break. So it's like, okay, there's still speculation. If you can keep her on IR, keep her on IR because, she's a good fantasy asset. We all know how important she is to New York. But if you got to move on. She's been dropped in a lot of our leagues. Actually, I've seen her on the waiver wire. Mm-hmm. So, it's tough. Because...
And I want to say the statement was more like saying that we're not getting her back before All-Star.
Yeah, it wasn't.
So, I think it's, a little different. They're just saying, no, we're not getting her before All-Star, but we're probably getting her after All-Star, so that's, like, good news.
If you had a chance to redo your draft, Megan, who would you draft?
Who would I draft?
Or who's your biggest regret?
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what league it was in because I'm in so many. Yeah. But one of the leagues, I think, first overall pick, I picked Caitlin Clark, and she's probably overall fantasy-wise, like, 20.
Well, because she had the injuries.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying.
Guess that though.
Yeah, but that hurts, and so right now I'm like dealing with that pain.
Okay, but who's someone you drafted that just didn't pan out the way you thought?
What is her name? I can't even say her name because she hasn't been doing that good on the Aces. I went with Jewel Lloyd. There you go.
Oh, that's probably the biggest bust. But didn't we all? I swear we cautioned everyone about Jewel Lloyd.
We did.
I'm pretty sure we said don't pick up Jewel Lloyd.
It was still very 50-50.
No, I wasn't gonna touch her. Absolutely not. That's a good one. I'm trying to think of another one. Oh, Aaliyah Edwards. Our poor Aaliyah Edwards.
Mabry's kind of. Mabry was hitting when she was in, but this injury's been very lingering. Carrington's injury's been very lingering.
The Aaliyah Edwards one was a bummer, and this is why. Because what Kiki's doing is what Aaliyah Edwards was supposed to be doing, but Kiki capitalized on Aaliyah Edwards being out. So we projected this, but wrong player. Yeah. She really capitalized on Aaliyah Edwards out. If Aaliyah Edwards is healthy and starts the season, it's a different story. Yeah. Because Kiki would have to take Aaliyah Edwards' spot, and Aaliyah, So that was a bummer. Someone said, what are the chances Emma or Kennedy Carter get signed? Emma would be higher than Kennedy Carter. I really don't think Kennedy Carter is going to get signed. I mean, this was speculation last season of Emma Meesseman signing. With like who was it? It was another contender. It's like, what contender is she gonna go to? And I just don't want to get my hopes up that Meesseman's gonna come back and play, because I did that last season and it didn't happen. What do you think, Meg?
Yeah, I don't know. You just can't predict these things. Teams have been making, like, I was surprised that Dallas cut Charles. They started to give her more minutes and then they cut her.
They cut her like 3 times already.
But I don't know. I just thought it was a little weird. No. But yeah, I don't know.
What is Ileana Rupert's fantasy outlook rest of the season? That's you. That's the Valkyries, Meg.
I think.
I say don't touch her.
Yeah, because the Valkyries are still already trying to figure it out right now with the team that they have.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be very risky to try to think that as soon as she comes, they're going to play her. And
Yeah, no, I wouldn't touch it. There's just too many people, and we're already trying to figure out rotation, and so is Nakase. So, I'm not doing it. Okay, dropping Xanda Lassini. So, who would you get in a fairly high chance of winning matchup, so not concerned about that? Would you have... Okay, so you're going to drop Xanda Lassini, Meg. Would you rather have Bonner, Quinterly, but they already have Azaya and Louisa, or Malanga? Ooh. If you're not worried about this week, I guess you can cross off Quinterly because you already have Azaya and Louisa.
Yeah. And you want diversity. You don't want all these Dallas players, because then if they only have 2 games that week, get hurt. Things like that. Bonner,
if you want to stash
we're missing
Bonner?
That game right now, but Bonner's not a bad one.
No, Phoenix doesn't play till 7.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Phoenix doesn't play till 7.
Bonner isn't a bad one, because I think she's gonna have the biggest impact.
I would favor Malanga if she got time. But it's just too risky. I mean, both are going to be a risk, so I think maybe lean Bonner and see if they really give her like a six man off the bench, or they takes over Catherine Restbelt's spot. But I doubt it. I doubt they mess up the chemistry they've already created. Like, I don't want to get my hopes up on Bonner like that. I mean, what do you think about that?
I don't know. I'm picking up Bonner.
Everyone's already picked up Bonner anyway, so you might as well pick up Bonner. Malanga, we've already tried to give a chance to, but Noelle Quinn is not giving a chance to her. So it's like, we can't keep giving her chances if Noelle Quinn gives her 5 minutes a game. But, I mean, she went off for 19 fantasy points in just 5 minutes. Like, what could she do with 15 minutes? You know, I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're never going to get that chance. Maybe sometime after All-Star break, but it doesn't look like it right now. Megan, stop making moves. You always do this. Any other questions? Drop them in the chat. I know we're in the middle of the Valkyries Atlanta game. Really good game right now.
It's a close one, guys.
It is.
Tune in.
It really is.
Watch my Valkyries get this win.
Oh my gosh. But if you guys are new and want to join our Discord to ask us any questions, the community there is good about answering any fantasy questions, and then we'll chime in as well. And you can also leave a comment on this video. We usually respond pretty fast. Well, we try. Before your matchup anyways. And then, yeah. If you're new, hit that subscribe button here for all fantasy advice, shows. I know we've been going only live on Mondays. And I think we're going to try the new ranking system, just ranking the entire week, top 20 to 25 players. And then if you guys have deeper fantasy waiver wire pickup questions, you guys can ask us about that live in the chat, in the Discord, in the comments, whatever's easier for you guys. But I'm not seeing a lot of chats. If you guys, I know trade deadline is coming up. It's going to be probably end of next week. So get your trade questions in. Get your trades in. Send those trades. It doesn't hurt to send it. Especially for, teams that are trying to squeeze into the playoffs. And then if you guys are in our leagues, make sure you guys vote in the poll for tiebreakers for playoffs. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure to hit that like button on this video and subscribe. We appreciate you guys, and we'll be back next week. Good luck this week, guys. Peace.
Peace.